Hey leaders, we are only 3 weeks away from launching our fall semester of Connect groups and learning groups. So I'm very excited about this. I hope you are getting excited. I came in yesterday and looked at the sign-up sheets, and it looks like everybody has someone signed up for their group. So that's a really good thing. I just wanted to share a couple of things with you. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 41, Jesus talks about going the extra mile. Now, the context of this verse is that the Jewish people in the first century, at the time of Jesus, they were under Roman occupation. And so a Roman soldier had legal right to walk up to a Jewish person and command them to pick up their armor, their sword, whatever they had, and to walk up to 1 mile carrying it. Now, that's a pretty big deal, especially considering that their armor could weigh upwards of 60, 70 pounds, and that they could tell these people to stop working and drop what they are doing and spend up to an hour basically being a slave. That would be pretty inopportune, especially if you were in the middle of doing something and they had the right to do this. And the point that Jesus was making was, listen, someone might tell you to go a mile, go the extra mile. What would it say to that person if you were willing to stop what you were doing, if you were willing to give of yourself, of your time, your energy, your resources, and not just do what was expected of you, but to go above and beyond? Now, nobody today is going to conscript you into service, especially like slave labor. That's not going to happen. And I definitely don't want you thinking about being a Connect group leader as being in slave labor. But what I do want to encourage you to do is think about what it means to go the extra mile for the people in your group. Things that could be considered going the extra mile would be making sure that you send out text messages or maybe even phone calls to the people of your group the week that you're meeting, and maybe even the week and the day of. So maybe 2 different text messages or even 2 different phone calls. Another thing would be on that off week when you're not meeting, how could you encourage the people in your group? What message can you send them? How could you be praying for them? How could you let them know that you're praying for them? And that's another big thing, is make sure that you keep an ongoing prayer list of the needs that are prayed about and talked about in your group every single week. Make sure that you're praying for your people and that you're letting them know that you're praying for them. Send them text messages, shoot them a message on Facebook. Let them know that you care about them and that you have their back. Something else that you can do is making sure that your hospitality is at its peak. So what would the best possible Connect group setup look like? What would that look like for you? What would the dream group look like? Think about it. If you had a group of 20 people that were coming and your group was the biggest, best, baddest thing in the church possible, what would that look like? And begin to do those things. You know what? Meeting people at the door when they come into your classroom or they come into your home, that's huge. Shaking their hand, making them feel welcome, making sure that you have a nice setup environment. Maybe have some snacks set up. That doesn't have to be expensive. It can be Cheez-Its and water, but have something that you can show them hospitality. Have seats arranged in a way that are comfortable and that are easily accessible. Make sure that people feel welcome and wanted. Make sure that when someone new comes in, or if people that don't know each other come in, that you're introducing them, not relying on them to introduce themselves. What can you do to make people the most comfortable that they can be? How can you make people feel like you want them there and like they belong there? Those are little things that we can do to go the extra mile and stay consistent. Don't burn out as the semester goes on. You're only meeting 8 weeks. That's only 8 times of contact. So don't quit on this 3 or 4 weeks in. Don't start slacking off and just basically making people knock on the door and find themselves in. Meet them at the door. Show them to a seat. Give them the best hospitality possible. Create an environment that they're going to want to come back to. And have energy. Have excitement. If you have a crappy day, don't take it out on the people of your group. I'm not asking you to be fake, but I'm asking you to give this 100% effort, because the better job that you do, the better your group is going to go, and the better the experience your people are going to have from it. So go that extra mile and just give it 100%, and I promise you, you're going to have people talking about your group, and they're going to be inviting people to come and be a part of it as well. So over these next 3 Sundays, get out there. Show up early on Sunday if you have to, and start shaking hands, getting to know people, inviting inviting them to your group. I know that a couple of group leaders are calling people. They are actively seeking out new people in the church and calling them and inviting them to their group just because they want to have them there for hospitality and fellowship. That's awesome. Whatever the Lord puts on your heart, or whatever you can think of to do. Because here's the deal. If you can think it, I guarantee you that the Lord put it there. Because it's the Lord's desire for you to show hospitality. It's the Lord's desire for us to fellowship. It's the Lord's desire for us to take part in these connect groups. So you can rest assured that it's going to be God's will for you to reach out and love people. All right, leaders, I hope you have a great rest of your week. I love you so much. We'll see you Sunday.